Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep, steady breath, and let the noise of the world around you drift away. Let the worries of yesterday and the anxieties of tomorrow fade into the background. I want you to step with me into a space of quiet contemplation, a space where we can touch upon the greatest mystery of human existence. I want you to imagine a moment that perhaps you have been afraid to visualize. Imagine the twilight of your life on this earth. The shadows are lengthening. The strength of your body is gently ebbing away, like a tide retreating from the shore. The voices of your loved ones, though filled with affection, seem to come from a great distance. You are entering the final silence. For so many, this image brings a cold grip of fear to the heart. We fear the unknown. We fear the darkness. We fear the judgment that we believe awaits us in the shadows. We wonder, in the quiet hours of the night, if we have done enough, if we are worthy. But I am here to tell you that you must not fear this darkness. You must not tremble at the thought of this transition, for what looks like night to the eyes of the body is, in the eyes of the soul, the breaking of an eternal dawn. You are not walking toward an abyss, you are walking toward an embrace. And the most comforting truth, the truth that I wish to plant deep within your spirit today, is that you do not walk this path alone. You have never been alone, and in that final hour, you will be less alone than you have ever been in your life. There is a witness to your life who has been with you since your very first breath. There is a companion who knows the secrets of your heart better than you know them yourself. And there is a saint, a humble secretary of God's mercy, whose visions have pulled back the veil of death to reveal the blinding light of love that waits on the other side. Her name is Saint Faustina Kowalska, and through her eyes we will see why you should never ever fear. Let us speak first of your unseen companion. Have you ever felt a sudden warmth when you were lonely? Have you ever felt a strange urge to avoid a certain path, or a sudden clarity in a moment of confusion? We often dismiss these as coincidence or intuition, but the spiritual reality is far more profound. You have a guardian angel. This is not a fairy tale. This is a prince of heaven, a being of immense power and intellect, appointed by God solely to guide and protect you. Think of that, a distinct creation of the Almighty, existing to ensure your soul finds its way home. Saint Faustina, in her profound mystical experiences, interacted frequently with her guardian angel. She did not see a chubby, passive cherub like those in paintings. She saw a dazzling spirit, radiant and powerful. She saw a warrior. In her diary, she recounts a moment when she was traveling by train. She was exhausted, staring out the window, when she saw her guardian angel standing on the embankment. He was not merely watching, he was deep in prayer, his gaze fixed on God, yet his presence shielding the train. She realized then that these beings are constantly active, constantly interceding. But why is this important for you, specifically regarding the fear of death? Because your guardian angel's mission culminates at the moment of your passing. This angel has watched you struggle, he has seen you fall into sin, and he has seen you rise again in repentance. He has caught your tears, he knows your weakness, but he also knows your desire for goodness. When the moment comes for your soul to leave the body, your angel does not abandon you. He becomes your advocate. He becomes your guide through the threshold. Saint Faustina describes a vision where she accompanied a dying soul. She writes that when a soul is departing, the spiritual realm becomes visible to it. The veil is torn, and in that moment, there is often a battle. The enemy of our human nature, the devil, seeks to claim the soul by despair. He whispers accusations. He shows the soul every sin, every failure, every moment of selfishness, trying to convince the dying person that they are lost, that God could never love such a wreck. This is the source of the fear of death, the fear that our sins are greater than God's mercy. But Faustina saw something else. She saw the guardian angel standing firm against these accusations. She saw the angel reminding the soul of its acts of love, however small. She saw the angel pointing not to the soul's merit, but to the wounds of Christ. "Do not fear," the angel seems to say. "Look not at yourself, but at him." Faustina teaches us that the darkness of death is actually a blinding light that our earthly eyes cannot yet process. She speaks of the illumination of conscience. Imagine standing before a mirror that shows not your face, but your soul. Everything is laid bare. This sounds terrifying, does it not? To see oneself exactly as one is, without the excuses and justifications we use in daily life. But in Faustina's visions, this judgment is not a courtroom drama with a gavel, it is an encounter with truth. And truth, ultimately, is a person, it is Jesus. There is a famous passage in her diary where Jesus tells her, "Before I come as the just judge, I am coming first as the King of mercy." This is the key to conquering your fear. The one who meets you at the moment of death is the same one who died for you. He is not looking for a reason to condemn you. He is looking for the slightest opening to save you. Faustina describes seeing souls who were on the brink of despair. In human eyes they were lost. Perhaps they had lived lives far from the church, far from prayer, but in the final moments God's mercy pursued them. She writes of a final grace. Even if a person has been a sinner their entire life, in that last breath, God offers a final, internal moment of clarity, a chance to say yes, a chance to accept His love. It might be a thought, a single tear, a slight turning of the heart that no doctor or family member can see, but the angel sees it. God sees it. The mercy of God, Faustina wrote, sometimes touches the sinner at the last moment in a wondrous and mysterious way. Do you realize what this means for you? It means that as long as there is breath, there is hope. It means that God's desire to have you with Him in eternity is infinitely stronger than your ability to mess things up. Let us go deeper into one of the most powerful visions Saint Faustina ever recorded, the vision of the dying night. It was 1935. Faustina was in her cell when she heard a chaotic noise, a spiritual disturbance. She felt called to pray for a soul that was in a terrible struggle. In spirit, she was transported to a grand house where an elderly man was dying. He was a man who had lived a worldly life, perhaps a life of great power or influence, but now he was alone in his agony. Around his bed, Faustina saw a multitude of demons. They were like black dogs, waiting, snapping, terrifying in their malice. They were waiting for the soul to despair. The man was in a panic, his heart trembling with the realization of his wasted life. But Faustina also saw something else. She saw the man's guardian angel. The angel was there, but he looked sorrowful. He was helpless to intervene directly because the man's will was turning toward darkness. The man was rejecting hope. Jesus spoke to Faustina, "Say the chaplet that I have taught you. You know this prayer. For the sake of His sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world." As Faustina began to pray, she saw the power of God descend. She describes it as a ray of light, powerful and piercing, coming from the heart of Jesus. This light hit the dying man. The demons recoiled. They hissed and fled, unable to bear the brightness of that mercy. The man's heart was touched. Peace descended upon him. He made an act of trust, and he breathed his last in the grace of God. This vision is a lifeline for us. It teaches us two vital things. First, it teaches us the power of intercession. We are all connected. When you pray for the dying, even if you do not know them, you are sending a sword of light into their darkness. You are helping their guardian angel. Second, it teaches us that no situation is hopeless. The darkness of death tried to claim that man, but the light of mercy was stronger. The darkness is only a shadow. The light is a substance. Now, I want you to consider a specific fear that haunts many believers, the fear of purgatory. We are taught that purgatory is a place of purification. We often imagine it as a fiery prison, a place of torture, and because of this image, we cling to this life, terrified of the pain that might await us. But Saint Faustina gives us a different perspective, a perspective of profound comfort. One night, her guardian angel commanded her to follow him. In a vision, she found herself in a misty place filled with fire, yes, but also filled with a strange, deep joy. She saw the souls there. They were suffering, but their suffering was not like earthly despair. It was a suffering of longing. She asked these souls, "What is your greatest torment?" And they answered with one voice, "We hunger for God." This is a beautiful revelation. Purgatory is not God punishing you because He is angry. Purgatory is the burning of your own heart because you finally see how beautiful God is and you cannot yet fully embrace Him. It is the pain of a lover separated from the beloved. It is the fire of love burning away the impurities of selfishness so that you can be fully united with Him. And here is the most comforting part. You are not alone there either. Faustina saw that the guardian angels visit the souls in purgatory. They bring comfort. They bring the prayers of those on earth, your prayers. She saw the Blessed Virgin Mary entering purgatory. The souls called her the Star of the Sea. She brought them refreshment, coolness, and hope. If you must pass through this purification, know that it is a hospital, not a dungeon. You are being healed. You are being prepared to bear the weight of glory, and your angel, who walked with you on earth, will visit you, comfort you, and tell you that the time is short and the reward is eternal. So, how does this change how you live today? How does this knowledge banish the fear of death right now, while you sit here listening to me? It changes everything because it invites you into a friendship. You do not have to wait until you are dying to know your guardian angel. You can speak to him now. In fact, he is waiting for you to acknowledge him. Think of him as your oldest friend, one who has been walking beside you in silence, waiting for you to turn your head and say, "I know you are there, thank you." Saint Faustina had a constant dialogue with her angel. When she was dying, she was not afraid. Why? Because she was walking home with a friend. She knew the way because he was guiding her. I want you to try something. In the quiet of your heart, acknowledge the presence beside you. You don't need to see him with your eyes. Just trust that he is there. Ask him to help you prepare for that final moment, not with fear, but with confidence. Ask him, "When my time comes, stand by me, defend me, remind me of Jesus." And there is another preparation, one that Saint Faustina urges us to make. It is the preparation of trust. The devil wants you to fear death because fear looks inward. Fear says, "I am not good enough." Fear focuses on the self. Mercy wants you to look outward. Mercy says, "You are not good enough, but He is." Trust focuses on Jesus. The image of divine mercy, which Faustina gave to the world, shows Jesus stepping toward us. His foot is in motion. He is not sitting on a throne waiting for us to climb up to him. He is coming down to meet us. The two rays, red and pale, represent the blood and water that flowed from his heart. The pale ray stands for water, which makes souls righteous. It is the washing away of sin. The red ray stands for blood, which is the life of souls. These rays shield the soul from the wrath of judgment. When you stand in that final moment, if you claim the shelter of these rays, you are safe, not because you are perfect, but because you are covered. Jesus, I trust in you. These 5 words are a shield that no darkness can penetrate. If you say them now, in the midst of your life, they will echo in eternity. If you habituate your heart to trust him now, then when the shadows fall, your heart will naturally turn to him, just as a flower turns to the sun. I want you to imagine that final moment again, but this time, strip away the fear. Imagine the room fading. But instead of darkness, imagine a soft golden light beginning to bleed through the edges of your vision. Imagine the confusion of the mind settling into a profound silence. And then imagine a presence, a hand taking yours, strong, gentle, familiar. It is your guardian angel. He whispers, "The time of struggle is over. The time of waiting is done. Come." You feel a lightness, as if a heavy coat has been lifted from your shoulders. The pain of the body is gone. The anxiety of the mind is gone. And as you step across the threshold, you do not see a courtroom, you see a face. The face of love incarnate. You see the scars on his hands glowing like jewels, and he does not point a finger of accusation. He opens his arms. He says, "Welcome home, my child. I have waited for you." This is the truth of death for the soul that trusts. This is what Saint Faustina saw. This is what the Church promises. The darkness is only a tunnel, it is short, and the light at the end is everything you have ever wanted, everything you have ever loved, and everything you have ever hoped for. So, do not let the enemy steal your peace with whispers of fear. When the thought of death comes to you, greet it not as a grim reaper, but as a gatekeeper who will one day open the door to the only life that truly matters. Live your life now in companionship with your angel. Offer your days to the divine mercy. Pray the chapelet not just as a ritual, but as a way of holding the hand of God. And remember, nothing is lost. No tear you have cried is forgotten. No act of love is wasted. It is all gathered up, waiting for you in the treasury of heaven. You are beloved. You are watched over. You are destined for glory. Walk in this truth, walk in this peace, and know that when the sun sets on this life, it rises forever in the next. Let this knowledge settle into your bones. You are safe. Now, as we come to the end of this reflection, I want you to carry this feeling with you. Open your eyes to the world around you, but keep the eyes of your spirit open to the unseen world. Your angel is standing right there. Speak to him, trust him, and fear no darkness. For you are a child of the light.